Welcome back to Bulgaria and welcome back to Bdin Vidin in our Football Manager 24 Build a Nation save.
Hello again guys, welcome back to another episode of our epic journey with Bdin Vidin in our Build a Nation save here in Bulgaria. We have reached the start of another season's episode number 48, I believe we're up to. The start of another season. We are at our first Champions League game as we've done for the last couple of seasons. Of course, this time round we're looking to get past the round of 16, which is where we've struggled for the last few years, and hopefully some of the other Bulgarian teams can do quite well as well. But because we are a third of the way through the season, obviously the transfer window's shut, we do have a little bit catching up with what's happened in the league. It's been not the best start in the league from a bidding point of view, but we'll have a look at that. But I think we'll start off with the transfers. So we'll start off at the end of last season. There was a couple of ins. One of them's cost us £10 million. He's not quite first team level, but he has come in from Sevilla. Yves Sene is very much a youth player. He's come in to be part of the loan farm, and he's already gone out on loan to Ardekar Jali, where he is making appearances and doing quite well. But Robert Macias, I couldn't quite get out on loan. He is potential to be a future first team player. He does have some potential still to hit, but he may become a loan farm player depending on if he can hit that potential. He's considered to be a star FBet League player. He has made 2 appearances for us so far as well, which he's done very well in. So that's the big one from last season. No big ones on the outs at the end of last season. In terms of this season though, we have spent £18 million so far, and most of them are fringe players, particularly very expensive signing in Davide Mione. He's potentially a first team player. He has not really played so far in terms of the first team. We did spend 13.25 million on him though from Club Brugge. Star FBet League player again. I didn't try and loan him out because I do want him to get some first team experience. 22 years old, he's on nearly 20 grand a week. We paid a fortune for him. Does still have some good potential though, but he just has some very, very good defensive attributes, and we're hoping that we can obviously utilise him a bit more than we have done so far. Didn't actually make any appearances for Club Brugge, which maybe tells you a little bit, and we've probably played over the odds. But if you have a look at some of the Belgium teams and their players, particularly if you play Football Manager yourself, you'll see that they're very, very expensive to buy. But I like the look of him. I brought him in. Like I say, he's got that potential to hit according to our scouts. He has got some good defensive attributes as well. So we'll see how he gets on. The rest of them are really sort of fringe players. Arujo has come in. He's a left wing back. He has played a few times this season. He's actually played more than Nenad Subic has, but they're very, very similar, particularly if you look at their polygons next to each other, which we'll get up now if we can quickly scroll through the hordes of players that we've got here and find Nenad Subic. They're very, very similar in terms of how they play, but Arujo was free. He is on £25,000 a week, which is obviously a lot of money. Yeah, we still can't quite find the player to play in that position. The rest of them, like I say, are fringe players, loan players, things like that. On the outs, we have sold some players. Ariel has gone to Al Dahail in Saudi Arabia. We've sold him for 10.75 million in total. Obviously, was unhappy that I wouldn't let him leave. The amount of wages that these Saudi Arabian clubs can offer, he's on £56,000 a week. There's no way he's going to get that at Bdin. So he's gone. Tonino Guerrero is another one. Quite disappointed about Tonino Guerrero, really. We did get £15 million from, look at his value now, and he's on £525,000 a week. And again, another one who was unhappy that we wouldn't let him leave, but we did get it up to £15 million for him, which is pretty much the best we could do. So that's the bulk of the money we've brought in. Everybody else is currently out on loan. We have 59 players out on loan as things stand. They're all at Bulgarian clubs. There is a lot of them, which is, good to see. In terms of how the start of the season has gone, like I have said, it has been quite disappointed. We started off in the Super Cup and we were quite comfortably beaten, to be fair, by Ludogorets Razgrad. And league-wise, it's not been great. You can see up there that we're currently in 3rd place. We started off a win against September for Sofia, which was, that was good. Draws against CSK, though. A win against newly promoted Marista, so they are no longer our affiliate club. We've actually got a new one who are a Treta League player, which is the 3rd tier. So Marista are up to the top flight. We did thump them 6-0, though. Draws with Lokomotiv Sofia, and followed by a win over ATR and Levska Sofia, but then 2 draws in a row against Botev Plovdiv. Was very, very disappointing. We did get our own back on Ludogorets in the league, though, with a 3-0 win. But then we've lost to Lokomotiv Plovdiv in the most recent one. So, like I say, it has been a pretty poor start to the league table. We currently find ourselves 5 points behind Spartak Varna, of all teams. They're having another fantastic season, Spartak Varna. CSK Sofia up there, last year's runners-up, CSK 1948 in 4th place. Ludogorets down in 7th. They are currently 8 points off the top of the table with the same number of games played. But Spartak Varna, our on loan striker, is considered to be their key player. He's got 6 in 6 so far this season in the league. So he's doing very, very well, which is good. In terms of how the second tier is going, you'd expect Chernomor Varna, with the players that we've got there on loan, to be doing much, much better than they are. Matthias Perez in particular. But Jonathan is also one of ours. He's at Hebar. He's got 5 in 8 so far for Hebar, but they're struggling down in 7th place, which is, again, disappointing. But Hildebrandt and Matthias Perez have not really found their feet so far. 2 goals and 4 appearances for Perez. Hildebrandt's 4 in 8. I think Perez actually had a little bit of an injury, but we still do have, a decent core of players there. Full up is not ours, but Perez, you'd expect once he's fit again to start firing Chernomor Varna up the table. Obviously, we'd like our better players to be playing in the top flight, which is, is the aim really. But hopefully these 2 clubs come back up, Hebar and Chernomorets, because we do have players on loan there. Just a quick glance at the club screen. There's rumours of potential board takeover again. We seem to get one a season. It's quite common, to be fair. We do have £30 million in the bank, though. We do have a little bit of remaining weight transfer budget. But as I said at the end of last season, because of the situation we're in where we're not making massive amounts of money, we're not able to improve the starting lineup drastically. So it's pointless spending the money kind of thing. So rumours of potential board takeover. Our new affiliate is Vihen, who, like I say, are in the Sofia V group. I don't know where I got Treta League from. I'm not quite sure, unless that is the 3rd tier and this is possibly the 4th tier, and I'm just getting myself mixed up. So it's not a fantastic place to send them out on loan, but we've got one there. We've got Erlend Gram, who is a 17-year-old Norwegian. He's gone to get a bit of match experience. Hopefully he can hit a little bit of this potential, but we've kind of reached the point where to bring in really, really good players, we've got to start selling some players. I'm ready to let David Martican go. He is wanted again. If I could sell him to Ludogorets, that would be fantastic. If I could get that much money for him. You can see just how many players that we've got are wanted, though, and that's shown in here. These guys are unhappy. Ignore Subic, but disappointing not to be able to join Man United. I was all ready to let him go. I was ready to let Zaou go for that. I will accept that for him. But I decided that after somebody had already offered 115 in total for him, I declined that one. And I can't get them back up there. I've offered him out for 100 million, but nobody wants to bid that. Baron's disappointed. Vinicius, Diego Costa, who is a young player who was going to be the replacement for Zaou if I sold him. He's got, again, bags and bags of potential to hit. He could potentially be as good as Zaou, but PSG were in for him. Vinicius, these are disappointing because of the wages that were on offer. Obviously, I'm trying my best to keep hold of them, particularly Fernando Veron. He is a fantastic player. He's got 6 in 8 for us so far this season, but he is unhappy, and that's reflected in my club atmosphere. It's suffering a little bit this season. But we are here today, of course, to do the Champions League, and we're going to have a look at who we have got in the Champions League. I'll just close these ones out so that we can have a proper look at it. And we kick off today against Chelsea. We've then got Juventus, Anderlecht, Ajax, Milan, Liverpool, Sevilla, and Legia Warsaw. So a very, very difficult league phase for us. Hopefully we can do quite well. In terms of the nations that we're trying to catch this season, of course, it is Turkey and Portugal. There are 3 Portuguese teams in here, in Benfica, Porto and Sporting. So hopefully we can do much, much better than them. There's only 1 Turkish team in, which is Besiktas. Unfortunately, there's only 1 Bulgarian team as well, which is ourselves. If we drop down to the Europa League, again, we'll have a look where we've got Spartak Varna, who have made it to the Europa League. which is fantastic. Portuguese, Braga and Vitória de Guimarães are in there. We've got Fenerbahce and Galatasaray. These are, of course, the nations that we're trying to chase down, the two ahead of us. And in terms of the Conference League, again, we've got Ludogorets Razgrad and CSK 1948. They've had a shocker. They were in Champions League qualifying. If we just have a quick look at that, of course, we'll go over it properly at the start of the season. But they were knocked out of the Champions League. Sorry, at the end of the season. Knocked out the Champions League by Molde. Then knocked out the Europa League by Rijeka, which dropped them into the conference. Hopefully they can have a good run in the conference like they did last season. But to drop straight from the Champions League into the Conference League is a bit disappointing. Hopefully Ludogorets and CSK can do quite well. Again, we've got Rio Ave in here. And we've got two Turkish teams. So we're looking to do better than they do. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like the fifth team, who I've forgotten who it was now. I apologise. Looks like they have not made it to Europe. It was Botev Plovdiv again, and they were knocked out of the Conference League qualifiers by FC Twente, so a Dutch team knocking us out there. Of course, we need to try and stay ahead of the Dutch nation as well. So that's us all caught up, guys. Of course, we do have the live comp against Chelsea, which we're going to get into in just a minute. And moving into that game against Chelsea, the first thing you'll probably notice is there's a little bit of a tweak to the tactic. I have decided to go a little bit more meta with having some inside forwards. Whether I stick with it or not, we'll see. Obviously, we are, again, in terms of homegrown and stuff like that, and the quality of players that we've got homegrown, I am struggling a little bit again. We have been helped out in terms of foreigners, in terms of the league. There's a couple more who have taken up nationality for Bulgaria, including Lima has now become Bulgarian, so hopefully he gets a cap soon, so that does help me out. He's unfortunately injured for today, so we are very, very thin on the ground. So in terms of the new formation, it's not too different. You've basically moved him from there and him from there. That's it. And tactically, it's a little bit different. It's a bit more attacking, shorter passing, a bit more tick-attacker, shall we say. But the defence is going to be Adam Papp in goal. It's then going to be Martikan, Avramovic and Rengel getting the start. Rengel is another one who I'm possibly, if I can get the replacements, looking to move on if somebody wants to pay decent money for him. Left back for today is going to be Arujo, the Portuguese who we've signed. He's done quite well for us so far this season. Tabian Barga on the right again, wanted. Ludogorets, I kind of need to keep hold of Tabby. I think he's a very, very good player. Midfield two of Ali Marungu and Zaui. Whether these two work out in these roles, we'll find out. Marimbio, this out on the right-hand side, can play on the right-hand side as an inside forward. Is very, very good for that. He's got the pace. He's got the finishing, which is good. And I sort of looked at this because I've got three fantastic strikers, and I wanted to get them all into the starting lineup. Marcus Vinicius again can play as an inside forward. He does have the attributes to do it. If we look at midfield roles and inside forward, it's there. He can play that. He does have a decent amount of pace. He's okay at finishing. So again, if I can get more than what I paid for him, I'd possibly let him go. And then of course it's going to be Fernando Baron up top, who I've got no interest whatsoever of letting leave the club. He is too good. 43 goals in 62 appearances, so he is not going anywhere. So as the players come out onto the pitch for the first Champions League game of the season, we do still have a real player in there. We've got Moses Caicedo still playing. I believe Diogo Costa is a real goalkeeper. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure he is. I think he's an upcoming young goalkeeper, isn't he? Maurizio Pochettino is still the manager. Got Levi Colwell on the bench as well there. He scored against us last time we played against Chelsea. So, you know, it's going to be very, very difficult against Chelsea. We'll have to see how we get on. We are back in our home stadium, the Bdin Stadium, for this season, though. Hopefully we do quite well. Well, with 25 minutes on the clock, guys, it's been a very, very quiet first half. We've had 3 shots in total. They've all been from Chelsea. Here is the first highlight, and it is a Chelsea highlight, unfortunately. It's Edwards with the corner. Pap comes and punches it, only as far as some guy's name who I've got no idea what it was. It's hit the post, and we've headed it behind for another corner to Chelsea. 30 minutes is taken to get anything out of this game. Angelo comes across to take the corner from the left-hand side. Headed clear by Mbaga. Only up in the air, though. They do get it back towards the goal, but thankfully nothing has come of it. And that was a very, very quiet first half, particularly from a Bdin point of view. Not a single shot. We have had a little bit more of the ball, but there's not been a single shot by either team on target so far this game. Ignore the injury for Marcus Vinicius. He came into the game carrying that injury. It's a lack of options. I really don't have anybody else to play out there. Potentially I could change the formation. In fact, do you know what? I am gonna do that because we are slightly struggling. We've seen that one already. I'm going to go with this, and I'm going to go and swap some players around. And yes, I am going to do that. I am going to bring on Baba Campore for the second half, and yeah, that's. We are very, very tired though, but yeah, that's going to do us for the second half. We'll the old Rocky with the southpaw and. Mickey on the side of the ring shouting, "Now, Rocky, now!" Good ball forward there from the Chelsea player. Unfortunately, it's to nobody, and Adam Papp comes out, claims it. Apologies for my Rocky analogy there. Rolls it out to Martcan. Now, Ali Marungu, who's lost the ball. Moses Caicedo finds Ramirez. Ramirez with the effort. Mikel Ramirez gives Chelsea the lead. So, yeah, the old sucker punch hasn't worked. It's a mistake from our best player as well, in Ali Marungu. It's a good tackle from Edwards. Caicedo with the assist. Could Pap have saved that? Possibly. I think it looks like I would have saved that, to be fair. That's highly disappointing. And with 20 minutes on the clock, guys, it's still not happening from a Bdin point of view. And unfortunately, we've got Benfica 4-1 up against Anderlecht as well. So we've got a Portuguese team doing very, very well. 15 minutes remaining. Is this finally Bdin doing something? It's the goal scorer Ramirez finding Angelo on the right-hand side towards the penalty area. Pulls it across, deflected. Still Angelo with the ball. Still Angelo has the effort. It's a fantastic goal. Fantastic goal from Angelo. And we're 2-0 down to Chelsea on the opening day of the Champions League. And this has kind of been the struggle that we've been having this season, guys. In total in the league as well. I don't know if it's because the players are just unhappy and they probably don't want to play for me at the minute. Because I won't let them leave. Basically, it's been a shocking performance from a Bdin point of view. Nobody's played particularly bad. You know, there's not been Embarga maybe and Marembio have been not great. That's shocking. Really, really bad. We've not registered a single shot on target. Chelsea have only had 2 and they've both gone in, which is a shame. I'm sure Diogo Costa is a real player. Of course he is. Of course he is. Plays for Porto. Yes. He is old now, 36. But yeah, that's a really, really poor performance. So we've left ourselves a lot of work to do already in the Champions League, and it's not great financially either. The money that's involved with winning games in the Champions League is massive. And as I've said, for us to take the next step, I think we really need finances, and that's what we're going to look at. Obviously, we'll be back depending on whether I qualify comfortably or not. We'll be back then, but we do, of course, need to start getting ourselves up the league. I thought that minus 23 goal difference there was ours. That's not sorted by position. Maritza, minus 23 goal difference after 10 games. They've scored 6, conceded 29. Both us and Ludogorets have put 6 past them. That's poor. I do have some work to do in the league, of course, closing down Spartak Varna and CSKA Sofia by the looks of it. I've now got a lot of work to do in the Champions League after losing that first game. And it doesn't get any easier. A trip to Juventus and the old lady. Anderlecht in the middle. Ajax, yes, should win that. Sevilla and Legia Warsaw, possibly. So it's just a case of seeing how we get on, guys, as to when we'll be back. That's going to be next time out, though. Hopefully I'll see you. I'm disappointed. I'm really disappointed with the start to the season we've had, particularly that as well. Don't get me wrong, Chelsea are still a fantastic team. Yeah, this is the kind of left wing back that I'd like. Somebody like this, but I don't have £42.5 million to spend on a single player. Thank you very much for watching though, guys. And I will see you in the next episode where hopefully we've turned our season around. Cheers, guys. See you later.